The St. Louis Blues have made a huge signing, and this one gives us some insight into the direction the team is going. But not only that, a huge win for the Blues signifies that everything just changed for this roster, and not in the way you think it did. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Blues Digest. And guys, it's a loaded one, so let's get right into everything today. As we saw last night during the game, Logan Mailloux, that's right, he's been re-signed to a 1 year, and keep in mind, one-way NHL contract for next season, and it carries an AAV of $850,000, which is actually a little bit less than his current contract. But of course, his current contract is a two-way contract. Keep that in mind as well. But you can see here, the current contract he's on, he is an RFA, by the way, still after the next contract. And I think it's a low-risk, high-reward signing for the Blues. There's no way you weren't going to re-sign Logan Mayu, who is an RFA at the end of this year after his ELC expires this summer. He's 22 years old. There's a lot to like about this player. He's 6'3". We know that he can be the future quarterback of this power play if given the opportunity. And we have a feeling that Justin Falk will probably be traded. So I think that it makes a lot of sense for the Blues at this point in time. You're looking to get younger. It's low risk. He's not even making $1 million against the cap. He's still an RFA at the end of it. And we'll get into specifics into why a lot of people don't like this signing. But before we get too far into the video today, guys, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. And when you download the Kalshi app using the link in the description and using promo code DIGESTNHL, you get $20 when you trade your first $100. And whether you're in Texas, California, or right here in St. Louis, Missouri, Kalshi is now live in all 50 states. And Kalshi is the US's largest prediction market where you can trade yes or no on real life events, including sporting events, elections, music, or even the weather. Now, we know there's a big weekend, another big weekend in sports coming up this weekend, and they got the Bills and the Broncos at a 50-50 split right now, which is insane. And when you're looking at other markets right now, Seattle, the Seahawks, they are a heavy favorite, but I think this is where you can get some pretty good value when you are trading on Kalshi. San Fran, I wouldn't necessarily count them out yet, and $20 returns 77. I know there's the injury to George Kittle and all of that, but I don't know. Still a pretty good team. They got Christian McCaffrey over there. But guys, it's just a better way to utilize your sports and news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. So go down below, download the app using the link in the description, use promo code DIGESTNHL, and thank you once again to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. And that's because Logan Mayu has had a tough stint in the NHL so far. It is no surprise, whenever he's been called up, it's been tough to watch, right? But, when you look at some of the other numbers, and I want to pull up some of this stuff and some of the advanced analytics, it's not so bad. I mean, you could take a look at this. St. Louis Blues have extended Logan Mayu on a 1 year, $850,000 deal. Mayu is a young defenseman who does have some offensive potential, and he's not being utilized properly yet within this organization. I am looking to next year, some of the steps he's going to take as well. And keep in mind, he was just traded from the Montreal Canadiens earlier this year, and then things were absolutely spinning out of control, a complete tailspin for this organization to start this year, and he was yo-yoed up and down, right? Let's keep that in mind. His defense, on the other hand, needs quite a bit of work, and he's not great 5-on-5. We know this, but you're hoping that it gets better, and he's only 22, right? Now, I wanted to bring this up. Horrible numbers, especially defensively at the NHL level this year. But again, he's not even making $1 million. It's low risk, and the trade is going to look horrific. Like, I'm not blind to the fact that this trade is going to look absolutely horrific if they end up letting him walk at the end of next season because he can't hang next season, right? It's going to look really bad. Not that Bolduc is doing much better after the hot start that he had, right? But all the advanced analytics are looking kind of tough, but he needs to be put in a position to succeed, and I think he will next season. They brought him in this year. It hasn't been the best, right? They're going to start moving out some bodies. Falk, I think, is going to get traded. It just makes sense at this point. I think this moving forward could potentially be the perfect signing for the Blues to set him up for success, where it's like, okay, he doesn't have to play up to a $2 million AAV or anything like that. And, you let him you put him in a position to succeed next season. So we'll see what happens. He's also the owner. I just wanted to bring it up. I have to do my due diligence here on the channel. He's the owner of the worst game score in the league this year. And the second worst was actually last night by Morgan Riley of the Leafs. But Logan Mailloux on December 15th had the worst game by any player in the entire league this season. So He's had a tough go. He's had a tough go, but I think that things may, start to turn around for him when he's put in a position to succeed next season. Power play quarterback, stuff like that, when he can put up some points and maybe play with a bit of a mean streak, because you'll have that confidence up. So let me know in the comments how you feel about this signing. Now, some other stuff I wanted to get to. All the Blues alumni, it was alumni night. It was a fantastic initiative. Awesome stuff, and a lot of the players spoke out about it and how it gave them extra motivation to play really well last night. And Jimmy Snuggerud said that it was super important from dinner last night to the game, 2 nights ago, the dinner that is. You can see why things from their eyes and what it means to be a Blue. It was really cool to hear those things and having them in the building. You can see some quotes from some of the other guys, like head coach Jim Montgomery, and he went on to say that he thought it was actually probably one of their smartest games, their most complete games. They were playing a simple game, which is something we've been talking about on the channel a little bit, especially at the beginning of the year. Like, a lot of the stuff that they were doing is so overcomplicated. Like, it's really, at the end of the day, a very simple game where the skill can shine through. But anyway, he said that the little details were good. And the point I wanted to make in bringing this up is, who is doing most of that stuff? It's some of the younger guys. Like, Stenberg cannot go back down to the AHL. Dvorsky had a big goal last night, standing exactly where you got to stand to score goals. You know what I mean? Like, and we know he's got a great shot on top of that. So I think that, it's some of the younger guys, which points to the direction that the Blues are going in, which is, I believe they're going to start selling off very soon heading into this deadline. I believe that Schenn could be gone. I believe that Falk could be gone. I think that some surprising other names could be gone as well, and they're going to start handing things off to the younger guys, because at the end of the day, a lot of the younger guys look like they're bought into what Jim Montgomery's selling at times, because the whole team looks disconjointed sometimes. But last night it was a simple game, and it's your younger guys that are playing well. And Nick Bukestad back into the lineup, scores a goal. That's really good for his trade value, because Mark on the channel as well was speculating yesterday that he wonders, and we were talking about it, could he be another trade chip? He has an extra year on his contract, right? He was signed to 2 years. He has term. A lot of GMs love that stuff, especially with the cap rising. I think that he could be a trade chip as well. So this is all good stuff for the Blues. I wanted to get into some other stuff from last night. Joel Hofer with his 3rd shutout of the season. He said lots of us went into the ceremony last night. Those guys do have a great job, or do a great job, and obviously a great role models for all of us. It was huge for us to get a win for them tonight. So obviously acknowledging those who came before them as Blues. And still more from Jim Montgomery. They just battled well, and they battled for their goaltender, and Hofer's had some good starts this year. He was talking about Dvorsky's game, who again scored today, and he does a lot of really good stuff. And this is the point I've been trying to make about Dvorsky, is he can put the puck in the back of the net. And a lot of people call him like a statue, because he only has, like, maybe he's one-dimensional on the power play one time or stuff like that. He's a good 200-foot player too. This is an NHL player, and I think he's going to be a very good difference maker for this team moving forward. I really, 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 really like this player. So we'll see what he does moving forward, but I think he, brings a really good 200-foot game and can also put the puck in the back of the net. It's not all about scoring. Not all about scoring. You need different pieces, and I feel like he's going to be a crucial center moving forward for this team. So we'll see what happens with that down the stretch. But again, you look at last night, Nick Bukestad scored, Dvorsky scored, you got Jimmy Snuggerud on the board. It's a 3-0 win for the Blues. Joe Hofer also coming out and giving his condolences to the death of Glenn Hall, or on the death of Glenn Hall, I should say. And he recognized that Hall's record of 502 straight games will never be beaten, by the way, but will definitely never be touched. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing. It's super special. He will never be forgotten for sure. So that was really nice. That was touching. I wanted to bring that up in the video as well, because Hofer came out and said that. And for the Blues, I wanted to bring this up before I leave you guys. I thought this was a really good experience for some of the younger guys on the team to get, like Dvorsky, like Stenberg, to be around this for this Hall of Fame ceremony, to be around some of the older guys, what it means to be a Blue, because I think this is a changing of the guard season at this point. I think there's going to be some moves, some big trades. Some of the older guys will be shipped out for some younger pieces, and maybe not a rebuild, but certainly a retool is on the horizon here for this team. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, especially when some of the younger guys are already with the team and they're getting experiences like this. So let me know how you feel in the comments below. Speaking of comments, before we wrap up here today, comment of the day from Michael, who says Armstrong is 100% correct. And this was on the video. We were talking about how he came out and said that, hey, I don't care about making the playoffs because we're not beating Colorado. And Michael went on to say, now he needs to make trades before the deadline. Kyrou, Falk, Binner, all should go. Binner's an interesting one. We've heard, Kyrou for a long time. Obviously, Schenn and Falk are obvious, but he's the heart and soul of this team now. Either way, we need to load up on draft picks and prospects. And I would agree with this to a degree. And, you know, Brayden Schenn is like the captain of this team, and he fought the other day for Broberg, stuff like that. But, you know, somebody else has to step up to the plate too. I think it's time to kind of move on. Like, maybe you keep Schenn, but you got to move out some other players. But let me know how you feel in the comments below, and we will see you for another video tomorrow.